Zdravo! Kako ste danas? Today in this video we will talk about reflexive verbs because some of my students are struggling with them and to understand how they function in Serbian. I hope that you're not struggling, but if you do, stay until the end because we will cover some of the main things about reflexive verbs. But first, what are reflexive verbs? Reflexive verbs are all the verbs that would have that se. So, for example, we have oblačiti se. Oblačiti se, to get dressed. And we can say ja se oblačim, I'm getting dressed. Ti se oblačiš, you're getting dressed. On se oblači, he's getting dressed, etc., etc. So I think that until now you got the idea how they work. If we don't want to use a personal pronoun, which is a common thing in Serbian, we will put that se behind the verb. So instead of saying ja se oblačim, we will say oblačim se, oblačim se, oblačiš se, oblači se. Okay? If we want to put them into the negative form, it will either be ja se ne oblačim or ne oblačim se. Are you able to follow? I hope so, because it's nothing difficult. The second thing that we have to talk about is the something. That's something that my student Eleanor, thank you Eleanor, asked me yesterday because she was going to that Serbo-verb site when she was covering reflexive verbs by herself, and then she found out that there is also oblačiti se I oblačiti. And yes, we would have the form of the verbs with se and without se. But there is one difference. So we would use se if the action, doesn't matter how many people are doing that, if the action of the person who is doing that action is produced on themselves, they would do that by themselves. Normally, if they are older and grown up, they can get dressed by themselves. But if, for example, let's say we have a baby and baby cannot get dressed by herself, she or he needs a mom or dad or a person who would get them dressed. Doesn't matter who is the person. Caretaker in general. So, in that case, let's say that mom is getting dressed a baby, we will say mama oblači bebu. Basically, if we say mama se oblači, mom is getting dressed. If I say mama oblači bebu, in that context, mom is getting dressed a baby. Now, the thing is also that you would use accusative case after a verb without se. Bebu, oblači bebu, tušira bebu. So in that context, after the verb, we will use accusative in most of the cases. I hope that this was clear enough for you to understand the difference between those two types of verbs and the idea behind reflexive verbs in general. I would just cover until the end the past tense. For example, past tense of the verb oblačiti se. We would say Ana se oblači, that would be present. In past, Ana se oblačila, or ja sam se oblačila, but let's keep with Ana because in that context, if we have reflexive verbs, we won't need je that we normally use with the past tense. So we won't say Ana je se oblačila. That's completely incorrect. We'll just drop off that je. It will disappear. And then we will have just Ana se oblačila. If I'm talking about myself or yourself, we will have ja se oblačim, ja sam se oblačila. Then we will have ti se oblačiš, ti si se oblačila. Oni se oblače, oni su se oblačili in past tense. So the third person of present is just the exception. I hope that I helped you with this, and I hope that like it is a little bit clearer, and I hope that you like this video, and I hope that you enjoyed. So if you like this video, please press that like button. We do have some free slots for lessons that are open, so if you are considering learning Serbian, you can book a lesson with us. That's it basically. Vidimo se u sljedećem videu. Ćao!